Good morning. This is cause number 2020-21970 in the interest of Dominic Cerda. Please, all parties, raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Do.
I do.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Shaterica Wilson. I'm Dominic's mother.
All right. And sir, your name and your relationship to the child.
Brandon Serta. I'm the father.
Counsel, your name and who you represent.
My name is Michael Newton Jr. I represent Brandon Serta.
Okay. And for the state.
Jacqueline Adeyemi.
All right, we've got a original petition and a suit affecting parent-child relationship. What are we doing today, Ms. Ariani?
Your Honor, the issues before the court today will be conservatorship and the geographic restrictions. Parties do have stipulations. Parties have stipulated to a possession and access, a modified possession and access order, where will be phase-in, having every visit to occur on the first, third, and fifth Saturday of every month. In the first phase, it will be 12 visits, and they will be supervised from 1 to 5. The second phase will be 10 visits, which will be unsupervised from 10 to 6 p.m. And the third phase will be unsupervised from 6 p.m. on a Saturday to 6 p.m. on Sundays. Parties have also stipulated to a child support amount in the amount of $533, a medical support amount of $59 to be carried by the non-custodial parent, Mr. Brandon Serta, through another source, and a retro judgment to be taken against Mr. Serta in the amount of $4,119 to be paid off at $71 a month, all beginning the 1st of November, 2020. May I call my first witness, Your Honor?
Let me ask a question here.
Okay.
Counsel, Mr. Newton, is that you're in your client's agreement so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Wilson, is that your agreement so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. And the issues are geographic restriction and what else?
Conservatorship, Your Honor.
Okay. You mean joint or sole managing conservatorship?
Yes, Your
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let's proceed.
Okay. May I call my first witness?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to call Ms. Jerica Wilson. Can you please state your name again for the court?
Shaterica Wilson.
Okay. Ms. Wilson, you are asking to be appointed the managing conservator and have Mr. Serta appointed the possessory conservator. Is that correct?
Yes.
And does Mr. Serta ever assist with making any decisions concerning Dominic's well-being?
No.
Do you have any reservations in sharing an equal right in making decisions concerning Dominic's well-being with Mr. Serta?
I'm fine with sharing rights if I could be able to move through the state of Texas.
Okay. So in regards to the geographic restrictions, where do you currently reside?
I currently reside in Harris County.
Okay, and are you going to move anytime soon from Harris County?
As of right now, for the year 2021, no.
Okay, so what are your reservations with having a geographic restriction placed upon you?
If I am offered a job in a different state, in a different city, I don't want to have to go between to a judge to petition me moving and slowing down the process of moving.
Okay, I would like to pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Newton.
Ms. Wilson, for the record, what is your current residence address?
My current residence is 14307 Alleman Drive, Houston, Texas, 77090.
And that is where you sleep every night, is that correct?
Yes, unless I'm spending the night somewhere else. But I sleep here. My license is here. Everything is registered here.
Okay, all right. So you have no problem with Mr. Serta sharing rights with you if he don't put a geographic restriction on where you can reside primarily, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Ms.
I would like to
Diana.
call my next witness, Mr. Brandon Serta. Mr. Serta, can you state your name again for the record?
Brandon Serta.
And Mr. Serta, is it correct that you are asking to be appointed joint managing conservators with Ms. Shaterica Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is it correct that you do not want to be appointed possessory conservator? Is that correct?
Repeat that
Under
one
the
more time.
sole, you do not. Is it correct that you do not want to be appointed possessory conservator and have Ms. Shaterica appointed managing conservator? Is that correct?
Yes.
You don't want the sole managing conservatorship, is that
no, ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry for the confusion. And is it, have you ever made decisions concerning Dominic's well-being with Ms.
No.
Shaterica?
No.
No. Okay. If you were to give the opportunity to make decisions for Dominic's well-being, do you believe that you would make the correct decisions in his best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In regards to the geographic restrictions, are you okay with Wilson having a geographic restriction expanded to the state of Texas?
No, ma'am.
No. You would. Is it correct that you would like the geographic restriction to maintain in Harris County and any contiguous county?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I would like to pass the witness.
Newton.
Mr. Serta, she asked you, have you made any decisions regarding the child? Do you recall that question?
Yes, sir.
If you were given the opportunity, would you like to take part in the rearing of your child?
Yes, sir.
Have you been blocked from making any decisions regarding your child?
Yes, sir.
But you do want to be a part of your child's life, is that correct?
Oh, yes, sir.
Is that why you filed a counter petition in this suit, so you can be a part of your child's life?
Yes, sir.
Have you been being denied access to your child?
Yes, sir.
So you want to have a regular role in your child's life, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You want to be able to see your child at least on the first, third, and fifth weekends of the month, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And if your child was to move over 100 miles away, would you be able to travel first, third, and fifth weekend to see your child?
No, sir.
How many children do you have?
Just one biological.
One son, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you want to play baseball with your son, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And if your son was to leave and go over 100 miles away, you couldn't play baseball in the afternoons with your son, could you?
No, sir.
You probably see your child maybe 12 times a year, is that correct?
If that.
If that, okay. All right. You want to be able to share the rights and duties with your child, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You want to have an independent right to consent to psychiatric and psychological treatment, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You want to have an independent right to give permission on invasive surgery, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You want most rights independent except for child support and the exclusive right to designate the primary residence of the child, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you want to raise your child like any other father, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's what we're asking, Your Honor, that he has the right to raise his child like any other father.
Ma'am, do you have any questions for him? Ms. Wilson, do you have any questions for Mr. Settler?
I do. Why? Okay, so you want to be in your child's life. I understand. If your child has to move because his mother received a new job, do you understand that you will still be in his life at that time? You'll be able to call him?
So you mean to tell me I won't be able to see him no more?
I'm not saying that you will not be able to see him anymore. I'm saying that if we have to move, that you will still be able to call him and you could freely see him and we can freely meet and you could have him for a week, for the month, if that comes to play.
So you're saying if you moved that you would give him to me for a whole month?
I said a week.
Then you said a month.
I said a week in
All
the.
right, let's not argue. The question is, do you understand what
Thank
she's saying, sir?
I mean, I understand it, but Mhm.
If you had a job opportunity, would you move away for a better job opportunity?
Yes.
Okay, I'm done.
Anything further, Ms. Adeyemi?
No, Your Honor.
Anything
Say
further,
rest.
Mr. Newton?
No, Your Honor. I guess
Any-
a quick closing. I know the court's familiar with the rule,
Well,
but
hold on a second.
okay.
Anything further, Ms. Wilson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Newton, you wanted to say something?
According to 153.131, it's presumed that parents would be joint major conservators unless otherwise can be shown, and otherwise wasn't shown here, Your Honor. So I pray that the court rules that JMC put a geographic restriction to Harris County, Your Honor. The father wants to be in his life, and every chance the father gets is in the child's life. He wants to have joint rights to make independent decisions regarding a child.
All right, anything further, Ms. Adeyemi?
No, Your Honor.
Any final argument?
Yes.
All right, the court orders that the mother and father be appointed joint managing conservator and the child's residence is restricted to Harris and contiguous counties. All other stipulations are approved. Give me an
Thank
order,
you, Your
please.
Honor.
Thank you,
May
Your
we
Honor.
be excused?
May we be excused, Your
May we
Honor?
be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, yes.
Mr. Baronis, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Yes, ma'am.
This is cause number 2020-06886 in the interest of Angela, Jonathan, Jasmine, and Melanie Barones. Please, all parties raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
My name is Ivan Berrones, and I'm the father of the kids.
All right, and for the state?
Hoya Armstrong, representing the Office of the Attorney General.
The court will note that the non-custodial parent, Jennifer Barones, is not present.
Correct. She was served and has filed no answer.
Okay. Court will note that Ms. Barones was served on March 27th, 2020 at 6:22 p.m. There's no answer on file. Is Mr. Barones on by telephonic
Yes, sir.
or is he on? Okay.
No, there he is. Let's see your face. Thank you.
Oh,
Mr.
there he is. All right, here we
Thank
go. Okay, let's proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to call my first witness, Ivan Barones. Sir, is that you? Are you Ivan Barones?
I'm Ivan Berrones.
Okay, and you are the father of the 4 children in this case?
Ma'am.
I'm sorry? You Up,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am. I'm the father for the 4 kids.
If the court can take judicial notice of the positive DNA results for Melanie and Baronis, that the court should have a copy of?
Court will
Yes.
note that the DNA test report would indicate that the alleged father, Ivan Berones, is not excluded as the biological father of the tested child, Melanie Berones.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
As far as the other 3 children, Mr. Baronis, do you recall signing a document called Acknowledgement of Paternity, which made you the legal father of those other 3 children in this case? Do you remember
Yes.
that?
Yes, ma'am.
And do all 4 children live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Have all 4 children always lived with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And when was the last time, how many years has it been since Jennifer Baronis stopped living with you?
2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. Okay. Now, do we have any known income for Ms. Baronis at this time?
No, the last I heard that she was working at O'Reilly or AutoZone or something like that.
But you have no personal knowledge of what her income is,
No, ma'am. No,
correct?
ma'am.
Okay. So I was able to assess child support at minimum wage based on unknown wages. Did I not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And for 4 children, first of all, does Ms. Baronis have any other children besides the 4 children you'll have together?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
So we calculated child support based on these 4 children at 35%. And that came to $359 per month for 4 kids. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay with me asking the court to have Ms. Baronis pay child support in that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay with that child support beginning November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
And then, Mr. Baronis, do you recall us discussing that as each child becomes an adult, the child support monthly payment will go down? You remember that?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And so when one child becomes adult, it goes to 308 per month. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then when another child becomes adult, it goes down again to 256 per month. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then when there's one child remaining, it'll go down to 205 per month. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And you're okay with all of those deductions? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how do you have the children covered for health insurance and dental insurance?
Medicaid.
All right. And do you have private health insurance affordable to you at this time?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Now, we've calculated medical support for Mr. Baronis to pay, did we not?
Yes, ma'am.
And that amount came to $113 per month?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you're okay with me asking the courts for her to pay that amount for medical support for the kids?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're okay with that also beginning November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you indicated to the judge earlier that Ms. Baronis has not been in the household with you and the children for about 2 years now. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So we calculated about 25 months, it's a little over 2 years, about 25 months of what we call retroactive child support. You remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
And we calculate that to be the amount of $8,975 as of today's date. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And are you okay with me asking the court to take this judgment against Ms. Baronis?
Yes, ma'am.
And are
Sir,
you?
did she ever provide any type of support during that period of time for these children? Did she ever provide any type of support, sir, during that period of time?
No, ma'am. No, sir.
All right.
Okay. And are you okay if I ask the court to have her pay $25 a month towards that judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
You okay with that $25 payment also beginning November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then as her child support goes down, her payments will go up, right? So
Yes.
then it was $76 per month, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then $128 per month?
Yes, ma'am.
And then $179 per month?
Yes, ma'am.
And then finally, once all the children are grown, then she'll pay $384 per month if she has a judgment left at that time. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, since Ms. Baronis has been out of the household, has she made any joint decisions with you concerning the children?
No.
Okay. So are you okay if I ask the court to make you the sole man conservator of the children
Yes, ma'am.
and Ms. Baronis the possessory conservator, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay with a standard possession order for Ms. Baronis to have visitation with her children?
Yes, ma'am.
But you'll want it, because the case is family violence, we did a non-disclosure finding protecting the address of both of you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And therefore, y'all will meet at a public location to exchange the children. Is that what you
Yes.
want?
Yes, ma'am.
Chose a super Walmart. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I've placed that address in the order for you to see.
Yes.
And if Harris County decides to have one of you pay for court costs, who should have to pay it, you or her?
Her.
All right, I pass the witness, Your
What's the basis of the non-disclosure, Ms. Armstrong?
Honor. Okay. So let me ask him some questions for that. Now, Mr. Barones, do you recall that there's been a bit of family violence? Would you admit there's been a bit of family violence between you and Miss Barones?
I mean,
Confrontation?
she did file for that, you know,
Mhm.
but that was my word against hers.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, she did file.
Are you comfortable with her coming to your house and you going to her house?
No,
Okay. Are you comfortable with her having your address?
I mean, she already knows where I live, so it really
If you were
doesn't.
to move, would you be comfortable with giving her your new address?
No,
Why not, sir?
no, man.
Why not?
I would like to have my own privacy and just keep in peace. That's it.
Well, if she knows your address, right? Now.
Yes, she knows where I live now,
All right. Has she
but
caused you,
she
has she
never said
caused you or your child any harassment or abuse or serious harm or injury?
no, man. No, sir.
And is she likely to do that if you move to someplace else? She hasn't done it for 2 years.
No, no,
All
because
right. That,
she hasn't bothered it to call my kids or anything anyway. So
all right. That non-disclosure is not going to be, you're going to have to change that. That's not approved.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I will change that and resubmit the order for approval.
Okay.
And that's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. The court will approve the order with the non-approval uh, of the non-disclosure finding,
Mhm.
with the removal of the non-disclosure finding. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be
Thank you.
dismissed? Thank
Yes.
you. All right. Mr. Barones, just hang on 1 second for me, okay?
yes, ma'am.
Just stay on. Mhm.